Hello everyone, and welcome to this presentation on the rebar visibility tools inside the Greytec Advanced PowerPack for Revit Premium Concrete. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Simon Dickinson. I'm a BIM Technical Manager here at Greytec in the UK. Been with Greytec 19 years now. I've been an advocate of BIM for well over 18. I'm an Autodesk certified professional and also an Autodesk certified instructor. Feel free to drop me any emails, drop me any questions on emails about the PowerPack if you would like. Also feel free to join me on LinkedIn at sdickinson1. Okay, for those of you that don't know about Greytec, we've been around now for 30 plus years. Our head office is in the south of Paris. We operate in 11 countries worldwide and over 48 offices between them 11 countries. We're a healthy, profitable and growing company. We're constantly expanding the team, and basically in the last sort of 2.5 years, in the last 4 years, we've expanded quite rapidly, and we are now one of the largest Autodesk partners in the world. You can imagine we've got quite a few staff. We've got over 550 staff, but the majority of our staff are technical based. We've got 100 plus people working in our R&D centre in Romania, where our products are programmed, including the PowerPack. We've got over 200 industry consultants basically focused on custom delivery and outcomes. So looking at how you can get the best payback on the investment that you make in your software, whether that be Autodesk software or Greytec software. We are very customer centric. We've worked on millions of projects globally now. We're getting very good feedback from our customers on our support. We'll be supporting 50,000 support cases a year, and we're currently running over 3,500 training courses as well, whether that be classroom based or online based. As a company, we split the company up into 4 pillars. So our create pillar, the simulate pillar, the fabricate pillar, and the manage pillar. So the create pillar is where we are today. This is where we have our create software. When we're creating the data for our designs, regardless of what that is. In particular from a BIM workflow, but also from a manufacturing workflow as well. And all of these Autodesk products, can be enhanced with Greytec PowerPacks. We've got 4 PowerPacks at the moment. We've got the Revit PowerPack. We've got the Advanced Steel PowerPack. We've got the Inventor PowerPack, and we've got a Vault PowerPack as well. From a simulate point of view, we have our own analysis packages, in particular Advanced Design, which is our structural analysis package, which has direct links back into Revit and the PowerPack Premium Concrete package that we're looking at today. We have fabrication tools. So we have a product called Advanced Workshop, and this is a series of tools that help us to deliver prefabrication. Everything from getting the prefabrication to the shop floor, managing the finished products, and then all the way through to site delivery. From a managed point of view, we have a product called OpenTree. This is our document management system that is a locally based document management system, but will allow you to have links to any external CD that you may be using, whether you're using Autodesk BIM 360, the new AAC, Autodesk, or ACC, the Autodesk collaboration, the clouds, the new cloud services, construction cloud, all the way through to for projects and beyond. Okay. So let's have a look at the rebar visibility tools. So the rebar visibility tools sit here, and there's a couple of things that we've got access to there. There's the rebar visibility tools themselves, and something called the layer definition tools as well. And I'll come on to them because that's quite a nice little tool. Now, just to remember that this the PowerPack for Revit has got various tiers. So we have the standard tools, which if you are one of our customers, you automatically get free of charge. So there's no additional cost for that. We have the professional one, which is the next level up. And then we have the premium concrete on top of that. And this is the tools that we're looking at today that sit inside the premium concrete. We then have the PowerPack for Revit Ultimate, and that includes premium steel, which is our PowerPack for advanced steel. And then if you go for the concrete design extension, that will also give you the reinforcement concrete design capabilities inside of the analysis package. And as I say, anything that we do in the analysis package can be brought back into Revit, and we can use that information in there. So let's have a look at the icons and the tools that are in our visibility sets a little bit closer. So under our rebar visibility drop down, there's various different tools we've got. We've got this rebar visibility itself, and I'll show you the dialog box that fetches up in a second. We can control the visibility of our rebar by layer. We can hide all reinforcement in a view, and we can show all reinforcement in a view. So, these are, very clever view specific tools which make setting the visibility of rebar very, very easy. And then tools that we don't just have to relate to reinforcements that's created using the PowerPack. These tools can also be applied to reinforcement that's been created inside of Revit using the standard Revit reinforcement tools. The layer one's very clever because what we've got is we've got a tool that allows us to create layers, and we can then assign different elements of a rebar to different layers. So if you wanted all your stirrups to be on one particular layer, we can create a layer for the stirrups, and then we can start to turn that information on and off within the views. It just gives us a lot more control and quicker control over the way in which we actually show that reinforcement. And they say it doesn't matter whether we're doing columns, whether we're doing beams, or whether we're doing walls, it's exactly the same. The actual rebar visibility button itself will actually open this dialog box for us, okay? And in here we can then start to look at how we have things displayed. It's a lot easier to use than the view states that are inside of Revit as it is, and it just makes it a faster way of working. So in here we can actually turn off certain elements. So if you wanted to turn off all your fabric, your area, your path, your couplers, and just have your standard rebar, then we can do that, and vice versa. So it creates really some really useful control in there. And you've also got the ability to change the range of operation. So if you actually want it to turn all your rebar 3D in every single view inside your project, just tell it that you want it to be project, okay? And that will do it for all reinforcement, as I say, not just the reinforcement that's created using our tool. So really, these are some real good productivity tools, which are designed to save you an awful lot of time. We have the layers that I mentioned. So these are the default layers that you're looking at here. But what we can then do is I can quite easily add my own layer definitions in here as well. And then we can start to assign our layers, our rebar, to these individual layers. Okay, so some very smart tools in here. A very simple set of tools, but from a working point of view, very useful indeed. So let's pop over to Revit. Okay, so here we are in Revit, completely blank model. Let's create some just something simple, and let's put some reinforcement in using the Revit tools. Help if we use a steel, a concrete column. Okay, so let's have a concrete column in there. Let's have an isolated foundation in there. Placed out columns. Okay, absolutely fine. Just moved it down to the bottom, which is what I wanted it to do. So here we go. Here's my column and my footing. So if I wanted to add some reinforcement in here using Revit, choose my Revit tools. Okay, let's go ahead and stick some stirrups in. Okay, and let's just change the ends. Okay, yeah, let's get the bar and parallel to work plane. There we go. Yeah, so I can place them in. Let's place a range of these in. So I want maximum spacing 150, and I can place them in. Okay. Just escape. We now have our stirrups in there. The problem that you get now is if I now go to 3D, yeah, I can see them because I'm in wireframe. If I go to shaded or hidden line, we can't actually see that, okay? And as you're probably aware, if I want to see them, select it, hit the filter button, check none, just a reinforcement, click OK, come over to my visibility states, tell it how I want it to display in this view, click OK, make sure I set a fine level of detail, and then I can start to see them. So that's fine. The biggest issue we now have, of course, so I go back to level 1. If I now put some bars in, so let's just perpendicular cover. There we go. Yeah, so I can stick some bars in. I know I could have put a series in, but we'll just do it manually like so. So we can see them in this view because this is the view that created it. But now again, when I go back to the 3D view, I've got to do the same thing again. So any additional bar that I add is not actually shown. Yeah, very frustrating. Come back in, check none, structural reinforcement, select the tool, go over to my visibility states, set it again, and then I can get the next set of bars in. So it can be, you know, it can be a bit frustrating. What I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to go back to just filter that out, and let's set my reinforcement. I'm just going to hit delete. Let's just remove that reinforcement from there. Okay. Now a couple of things to show. If I just go back into here now, and let's just do the same thing again. I'm just going to put the reinforcement back in. So let's just go back to my type 51. Set to far cover, parallel to work plane. Make sure I've got a maximum spacing 150. Place that in. There we go. Let's do the normal bars and set that perpendicular. Set that to fixed number. Set that to 3. Okay, so we'll place 3 that, 3 that. Now, here we go. Same issue again. Okay, I want to show all that reinforcement. So what I can do here is I can go to the PowerPack detailing, and here is our rebar visibility tools. So what I'm going to do is, here's the drop down and there's various different options we've got. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in and just click on this top button. And I now want, in this view, just the active view, I want all rebar shown as solid. Okay, click OK. And it will automatically set all that up. I'm not having to select it. I'm not having to filter it out. It understands and it can set all that up. So that's a really nice tip. So it uses these. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create 2 more structural elements. So I'm going to put another one there, and then let's go to, actually, I don't want that because I'm on the wrong level. Let me just make sure let's get that there. Correct. There's another column. Let's do the same again. Let's just pop an isolated element in there. Finish. Okay. Now, if we're using the PowerPack tools, yeah. So here we have our other column and our footings. If I just select this, any reinforcement that is created using the PowerPack. So if I just use the constructive dispositions just to generate that, I could run calculations on this. Just do some basic analysis. Okay, so there we go. Let's set that up. Okay, so we now have this rebar set up in there. Notice it automatically sets it as viewable. If I go to, say, level 2, yeah, it's automatically viewable in there. Yeah, so we can see that that is automatically set to view final level of detail. We've got that information in there. So every view, yeah, that is automatically going to set it up to be visible in all the views. And we don't need to worry about adding additional reinforcement and it not showing up as well. So, you know, even if I went back to here, if I just added a bit of extra detail into here, so let's just go to the main bars. So here's the bottom bars. Yeah, I've got 17 at 104. So what I can do is let's go to this one and set up 17, 105. Let's just change it to 10s. Yeah, do 104. And then, you know, let's just make sure I've got my offset set on them. So 64 and 30, 30, 30. Bottom bars 17. Yeah, got the 17 there. Okay, that's fine. We'll just quickly throw this in. Offset. Double check my offset. Offset 64 just to make sure I get that in the same place. 64. And then we have the values. So top's going to be it's 40, 30, 30. So as soon as I do this, okay, this will now generate that next layer of reinforcement, but the visibility is going to be the same. It's not like I've then got to go back in, you know, even if I go to shaded look, I don't have to go back in and start to select it. So one advantage of the way that the tool works is it automatically sets this visibility to be set up. Now, the next thing that we can do, so remember this is being done using the Revit tools. This has been done using our tools. So over here, we've got our assign layers. So what we can do is we can assign elements to a particular layer. Okay. If I just go to the layer definitions, here are all the layer definitions that are in here. Okay. So, you know, where we've got the stirrups, you know, I could have the, let's add a new layer. Just call it ST. Yeah. Could give it a description. Yeah. If I wanted to click, oops. Don't click OK. Let's go to layer, my layer definitions. Okay, so I've got my new layer added in there. Okay, and is it active? Yeah, we'll just make them all active. Okay, so what we can now do is I can select the assign layer. Okay, and it doesn't matter whether I can do it in here. Look, we can select elements in here. Notice I've got a finish command because what it's doing is it's going to allow me to select all of these elements. Okay, hit finish and it'll ask me now which layer do I want it to assign it to. Yeah, so I could assign it to the ST, or we could say let's just have this as the internal. Hit assign. Now what that's done is if I actually select this rebar, so even the Revit one, what it's done is it's actually set up within the properties here the G rebar location, so the location of where that is. So now what I can do is if I just wanted to turn off the stirrups, yeah, I can come into rebar visibility. I can do it by the one that we did before, but I can also do it by layer. So I could actually turn off any of the internal. Yeah. Now it's automatically assigned the externals to that as well. So you know, if we go back in and go by layer, you know, we can turn these layers on. Yeah, maybe it'd have been a good idea for me to assign these elements to that one. Okay, so we've got that one as the ST, and then I can say, right, let's show all reinforcement. Obviously I can come in, I can go hide all reinforcement. Let's show it all, go back to by layer, make sure that they're all on except the ST, click OK, and it's going to start to hide them. I must have had them other columns selected as well. So it just gives us, it's not done them on this side because they're not on, they're on a different layer. So, the idea of having this layer control in there is really powerful. So let's come back into there. Let's just make sure everything is switched on again. And let's hide show all as well. Okay. So it's a really powerful set of tools that we can use. Even if I go to the south elevation, just go close. So here we have the columns and the footings. Okay. As you can see, the ones that have been done in the PowerPack, I've already got that switched on. If I want to do this one, again, rather than having to do the select filtering, I can just come into here, show all reinforcement. So come into here, hit the visibility and select OK, and that will turn that on. Obviously, the problem I've got at the moment, if I go to the north elevation, I've got a similar sort of problem. Look, it's not switched on. So what I could also do is if I want it to be in all views, let's go to our rebar visibility, change this to project. Okay. Yeah. So could do the visibility in the appearance, set all that, click OK. And that should mean now that if I go to the west, you can see there that all the reinforcement is listed in there. Go to the east, we should be able to see the same thing. Okay. So it's a really nice, powerful set of tools for setting up this visibility. All the layers that you create in here as well, if you're going to use this on all your projects, just do this within open your default template that you use, create the layers in here, okay, and that will give you access to all of them layers once that's actually placed in there, okay. So again, it's just a really nice set of tools for being able to display, turn on or off the rebar very, very quickly. And of course, we've got the other tools in here as well. You saw me use the disposition tool, which actually has the links to the analysis package to create the information. There's no I've got no analytical loads in here at the moment, but if you have your analytical loads to your model, this will then start to utilize that information quite nicely. So a nice set of tools and very, very quick to use. Okay, so any questions? I've seen a couple come in. Let's just pull my question palette out. Here we go. Let's just make sure I can see what's going on. Yes, the layers are literally, all the layers are doing is they're assigning a parameter to the rebar. So they are indeed, the layers are just, it's almost like an AutoCAD layer where we're assigning objects to that. If you think about the way that Revit works with categories, we have a reinforcement, a rebar category, but it's sort of quite there's no real subcategories in there. So if you imagine our layer manager is sort of working very much like the subcategories would work inside of visibility graphics to a certain extent. It just gives us that control so we can use the tool to turn them layers on and off. So thank you ever so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed that. It's a really useful tool. As I say, big productivity gain tool is that. As I say, so thank you very much for joining me. Hope to see you all soon on one of my webinars. And until then, stay safe. I'll speak to you again soon. Thanks a lot.
Greytec.